Top story today, a federal judge has given the Justice Department until next Thursday to redact portions of the affidavit which led to the search on former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. Media outlets, including CBS News, are requesting the document be made public. Meantime, one of Trump's longtime business partners has pleaded guilty to tax fraud. Catherine Herridge is following all of this for us. Catherine, good morning.
Good morning, Vlad and Anne-Marie. Thursday's court action in New York and Florida could have significant ramifications for the former president, who's facing civil and criminal investigations. Meantime, the Justice Department now has only 6 days to propose what information should be blacked out or redacted from that affidavit. A Trump spokesman said the entire record should be public.
On Thursday, the federal judge who approved the FBI search of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home almost 2 weeks ago found the Justice Department had not met the high threshold for showing that the entire affidavit should remain sealed. But he did order the immediate release of these other procedural records that provided some insight into the possible crimes that led to the Mar-a-Lago search. They include willful retention of national defense information, concealment or removal of government records, and obstruction of a federal investigation.
We are entitled to monitor the affairs of our government at all levels.
The judge agreed with media organizations, including CBS News, that at least some of the affidavit that supports the Mar-a-Lago search could be unsealed.
It is up to the public to determine what is meaningful in this investigation.
Prosecutors argued releasing any portion of the affidavit would threaten their investigation and the safety of potential witnesses and the FBI agents involved.
Well, DOJ is saying there's a lot more to come.
Scott Frederickson is a former federal prosecutor.
How extraordinary is this situation?
It's surprising that the judge is willing to unseal any part of the affidavit. The government wins these arguments 99 out of 100 times. And whether it's President Trump or anybody else who's the target of this search warrant, that's very bad news.
Meanwhile, in a state court in New York City, the Trump Organization's former chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg, pleaded guilty, admitting to conspiring with the former president's company to evade taxes on nearly $2 million worth of corporate perks.
In the plea agreement, Weisselberg agreed to jail time and he agreed to testify against the Trump Organization, but not the former president himself. That could happen as early as this fall. Vlad, Anne-Marie?
Catherine, as you know, the possible release of this Mar-a-Lago affidavit, if the judge does in fact release even portions of the document, how will that impact the former president both legally and in terms of his standing within the Republican Party?
Well, look, we're kind of in uncharted territory with this affidavit. Any information that becomes public can help the public decide whether the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago was justified based on the evidence that was presented to the court. If there's a lot of evidence there, it could be very helpful to the Trump defense team, but it could also be a big negative if it shows that there was strong predication to go into a former president's private home.
So, just sort of remind people, this is the same judge that actually approved this affidavit to begin with, right? So he knows what he read, and
Exactly.
I presume has a general idea of what could be released and what couldn't be released. But if the affidavit that is presented to him, the proposal, has more redactions than he thinks is beneficial, can he make his own decision about what's redacted and what's not?
You're really onto an important point here, Anne-Marie. In the government filings, they basically said to the judge, there's so much sensitive information here. If we redact it, it's going to be a sea of black ink. You won't be able to make any sense of it. And that almost, in some ways, baited the judge. The judge came back and said, OK, Justice Department, you show me and justify how much of this information is sensitive, how much could jeopardize, in your words, this investigation, and I'll make some decisions on what can be unsealed or made public here. We've never been here before, so I'm just going to give you my assessment. My assessment is that if this affidavit comes back with a lot of redactions, which is what we expect, the judge could say, listen, I think you've gone too far. I need you to go back and try again. He could accept them. Or he could say, you know what, I think actually even more information could be problematic. And that doesn't even begin to consider whether the Justice Department could, take it over this judge's head, right? Launch an appeal. So we're really at the beginning of this process to get some public release of the affidavit.
Interesting stuff. Catherine, thank you.
You're welcome.